The program presented or submitted by members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNNY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNNY 91.1 FM and its affiliates.
We're having a great day here at 91.1 The Boss, your Fusion radio station. I'm your host, Orlando Daniels of Today's Entrepreneur, and I'm excited to be able to introduce so many entrepreneurs on this platform. But I have a gentleman that has a unique, his last name is unique, that coincide with his business. I have Mr. Nicholas Rolling sharing with us today of Rolling Motors. I'm going to allow him to share, and listen, viewers and listeners, don't start thinking another car salesman, because this is somebody different. So come on and share with us this morning, Mr. Nicholas.
Yes, my name is Nicholas Rolling from Rolling Motors Houston. I do appreciate the opportunity to be here with you, Orlando.
You're more than welcome. Thank you.
Your platform, and I appreciate you bringing me in. The location is in the Sunnyside part of town, southeast Houston. We're in transition. We're currently moving to the Humble area.
Okay.
But as of now, we're still in the Sunnyside part of town. We're on Instagram, Rolling Motors HOU, with Instagram. And that's currently our platform as of now.
Okay. What made you get over into being a car salesman? I know most people get in, and they get in based on, the financial aspect, and a lot of people get in business for that purpose. But for you, I wanted you to have the opportunity to share, because when people hear car salesman, they immediately think somebody that's out to take advantage of them.
Right.
He's selling the lemons,
right.
all of the things that comes with what you do. But your overall approach is different, and then the actual vehicles that you carry and specialize in are just, I just said to you in the back, give me one, I'll roll around in it and tell them Rolling Motors put me in this. So tell us what made you decide outside of a 9-to-5 to become the entrepreneur that you are.
Well, I've been selling cars since I was 16. Everybody that knows me knows that I always had nice vehicles. And one thing I always kind of prided myself with was, taking those vehicles, restoring them, and making them, what I thought they should be. This year, in itself, I decided to take it to the next level. I wanted to open up my own dealership, because that's been a goal I had for 5-6 years or so. But this year, I just felt like, this was the time. And like I said, I have been doing it for quite some time, from Cadillacs to BMWs to Impalas. Anybody that knows me that went to college with me knew that I always had, I was always fortunate enough to have a nice vehicle. So that's kind of one of the things that I've been, kind of rolled with.
I'm always amazed and intrigued by entrepreneurs and people who start the business. And to hear you say, I've been doing this since I was 16, so my credibility is there.
Correct.
People know the track record. They know the history. They know that I'm that guy since I've been a teen, investing in my future, not knowing that it will one day land you in this position. And when I thought about it, I was like, and it just hit me actually, because though I knew your last name, I know it's short for Nick Rowe. People call you Nick Rowe, whatever.
Right.
But when I thought about it, I said, this guy's name literally complements his business. Rolling Motors.
Right.
How ironic, how that's a great branding in relations to using your last name and being able to use it as the catalyst in regards to your business. What are some of the things that you've experienced, especially when you get customers that come out and engage with you, and they immediately have this preconceived notion about a car dealer?
Me, I don't apply pressure at all. I show you what I have. It's up to you to pull the trigger or not. I'm not a pushy dealer or any of that. I mean, I've seen it several times in my past. How dealers are forcing it on you. Like, you can't get in this car, but we can put you in this one. No, I don't do any of that. My whole thing is, I try to kind of fill out a person to figure out exactly what they want. My whole thing is, and a lot of my customers are guys who say, okay, I want a BMW 5 Series.
Okay.
And I find that BMW 5 Series. I'm not trying to put you in a BMW 6 Series or 7 Series or any of that. You say 5 Series, that's what you want, that's what you're going to get.
So customer service is big to you?
Most definitely.
That is a lost art in business
Right.
these days. Everything is either digital. We got the pre-recordings. I think it's Discover, the Discover card, the company who now lets you, or they communicate in their advertisement. You'll get a live person, and you know, people call. We've in the age where things have changed. In doing business in which you do, in reference to being a car salesman, a good example is the car place. I can't think of the name of the company, but you can just order the car and go pick it up like you're going to a vending machine. What sets you apart, other than the customer service and the quality of cars that you have, that says do business with Nicholas Rowling?
Well, I think the thing that kind of sets me apart is I relate to my customers.
Okay.
So the people that I typically deal with are people who I've known for quite some time, or people that trust me. I'm not out to to sugarcoat anything. I'm not out to create a facade or any of that. My whole thing is building a relationship with a person and growing from there. So I think that's one of the things that kind of separates me apart from the big corporations.
You know, when people look at investing in vehicles, homes, and things of that nature, it's like giving birth to their first child.
Right.
And a lot of people are hesitant, they are skeptical, they are reserved, they're looking at their budget. What are some of the things that you could communicate to those that are listening and following to put their mind at ease that, hey, you've tried what we consider the big people in the industry, we consider the mainstream car dealers. What could you say that would put your people at ease and say, hey, come see me? Because most people are challenged by their credit. Some people are looking at, I may not qualify, and I don't want to go and pursue this place because I don't want to be turned down, and we don't want to get the markings. What would you say to someone that is listening, say, hey, I need a car? What would be the first step, other than putting their mind at ease, that you can help them?
Okay, I guess two parts to that question. The first part is I drive the vehicles that I purchase.
Okay.
So when we went back to the first topic of used car dealers selling lemons and things of that nature, I drive the car, so I wouldn't want to put myself in a lemon. So I look at it from would I drive it? I mean, would I want to be seen in a vehicle like that? Do I feel like the vehicle is going to break down? No. Any vehicle that I purchase, I look at all the credentials of that vehicle before I even purchase that vehicle. So when it comes to a consumer, I want to make sure that the consumer is well satisfied, well taken care of, and my whole thing is safety. Safety is number one with everything I do. So the second part of that question, when you asked about the lending process and things of that nature, I have 3 strong lenders.
Okay.
And we don't just, and those lenders don't just look for people who are in a certain tax bracket, look for people who have a certain credit score or things of that nature. We look at everybody. We want to make sure that every person is able to ride and drive and be able to get from point A to point B, C, D, all the way down to Z, in the manner in which they should. So it's all about what you like. It's all about going after what's best for you. So
I had a guest on yesterday, Christopher P.C. Williams of God's Garage, and he has what I call ministry, but it's his business for single mothers, divorced or widows. He literally put them in a vehicle, free of charge, do all the mechanical work and do all the work to get them, moving. And I said to him, you can't be in Houston without reliable transportation. It can be challenging. Trust me, I've tried it. Lyft have made a lot of money off of me. But when you look at the heat, all the things that says I need to ride, I can't be standing on the block on the corner for Metro or waiting on somebody to come get me. All of those frustrating things, but then getting with a car dealership or someone like yourself that says, "Hey, we got you," because that's going to put people's mind at ease. That the peace of mind that comes with the process, because everybody's looking at this is going to be a headache. This is going to be too much. I applaud you for taking what you actually didn't know was going to, lead up to this. Maybe started out as a hobby, and a lot of people find their niche later on in life. How is it? Because I know a little bit about you. and we both have a mutual friend. Jonathan, I know you're probably watching this, so let me give you your shout out, because if we don't, homie, we're going to hear it later. So,
right.
But working a 9 to 5, great employment where you are, and then being employed to now being in a position to employ others. How do you handle, and I don't want to call it fluff or all the other things that comes with working for a major corporation, and then dividing your time to invest in your own business so that you can be branded like the company you work for? How does that feel, and then how are you handling it? Because that can be challenging within itself.
Well, I have a strong support system. I have a family that really cares, and I think that's the most important thing in itself. I mean, if you have someone that that has your back, that's praying for you, most importantly, and because my background is my father's a pastor here in town.
Okay.
So I kind of was groomed the right way, in my opinion. So with having that background, with having a family that cares, and with me able to prioritize, sometimes it gets stressful. I mean, that's life in itself, but I mean, I'm able to endure. So I mean, I've always been the type of guy who juggled a lot of things, right?
I've had all of my guests when they come in. One of the things that I hear them make mention of is support systems, having people that has your back,
Right.
And I've learned that family doesn't always possess the same DNA or blood.
True enough.
But you have people that really get behind you and rally. I mentioned Jonathan for a reason, because I moved to Atlanta, didn't have anybody here, and he's one of the main ones that has been, the cheerleader.
Right.
Hey, you can do this. I'm not surprised, that this is happening. And so we need those people that continues to motivate us. But also saying that you're a Christian, you're a believer, your father and parents have reared and aided in the overall development of you, and the direction that you're headed. What would be something you can leave as well as deposit for the next entrepreneur that is considering that what I'm doing now as a hobby, something that I find enjoyment in, and now choosing to step out and make a business out of it? What would you say?
Well, I say write the vision and make it plain, just as the Bible says. With writing that vision down, something that you can look at and kind of marinate on each day. What I do is I have some sticky notes that I kind of put on the mirror that I look at each and every morning. 3 goals there, right? First goal, of course, was to start the business. The second goal was faith, finances, and family.
Okay.
And the third goal was, of course, it was a monetary goal in there.
Okay. That's that's the end result.
Right.
I mean, we got to have something to aim towards, so
Right.
we'll know how to pursue. Many times people pursue, but in their pursuit, they actually are just going.
Right.
And we want to run without setting the tempo, the pace, having a vision in relation to the direction we're headed, how to handle the obstacles that presents themselves. I was thinking about some things that God is doing now with me here at the station, and for anybody that understands entrepreneurship and leadership and or just being at work or working independently or working for someone else, I want to deposit opposition is God's opportunity.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
That whenever you find yourself experiencing resistance, greater the release. I just really believe for those who are listening and watching, especially this is an entrepreneur show, I want you to understand that when you face the opposition, when you face what I consider the hiccups of life, that doesn't mean you're not headed in the right direction.
Right.
It is actually designed, and I was talking to some of the guests that I think you had the opportunity to meet, Clarissa Richard and Cassandra Mays, that literally warfare develops or comes just to cause you to change direction and change your mind. Right. And so I applaud you for staying consistent, knowing the direction you want it to go, and you've hit that target and you're not all the way there, because I'm sure you're going to want to open up more than one Rolling Motors.
Yes, sir.
I want to give you the opportunity to share your Facebook, Instagram, any phone number, any information, so somebody that's needing a vehicle, looking for a vehicle, they can get in contact with you.
Okay. Instagram, Rolling Motors, HOU, ROLLING MOTORS, HOU. It's on Instagram. My number is 832-675-3362, and those are my contacts.
Listen, if you want to roll right, you want to get in contact with Mr. Nicholas Rolling of Rolling Motors. Once again, it is Friday. It's a great time to experience a weekend and do something different. I am your host, Orlando Daniels, on KNLY 91.1 The Boss. Enjoy your weekend. Be blessed.